Hi people, it's me, Anja. My pronouns all she and her, and welcome back to my channel for part 7 of my favorite black YA contemporaries. As a black reader, I love reading books about black characters because they make me feel so seen and heard. Even though I understand that there are certain things that black people have experienced that I've never experienced, because I am a lighter-skinned black woman and I did grow up in a more wealthier space economically and everything, but still I think that black stories are so incredibly important and I love reading them because I think it's so important to, first of all, read books that you do relate to, but also second of all, read books that you don't relate to just learn new things and learn new perspectives. And anyway, all that to say, I hope that this video helps diversify your bookshelf. I hope that these book recommendations help make black people, especially black girls, feel seen and heard and understood, and make them realize that black joy is so important. So anyway, without any further ado, the first book on this list is called If We Were a Movie. This story is a YA contemporary following a black sapphic main character who's very academically driven until her nemesis catches her off guard. And I wanted to quickly clarify, this book is set during the summer before the main character sets off to college, because the dynamic romantically between her and her love interest is technically academic levels to levels, but it's set not during the school year. But anyway, this book was so good. It is so excellent and it's so cute. I really enjoyed it so much. This is definitely one of my favorite black rom-coms because the romance is adorable. I love the characters individually. I love the plot and the family dynamics, and also her job setting was so good. I just really enjoyed it. Her relationship with her mother was done so well. I think this book is absolutely so excellent and it's so underrated. So anyway, with that said, I would definitely highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Under the Neon Lights. This story is a YA contemporary following a black main character who is navigating first love as well as self-worth as her favorite skating place might be shutting down. I think this book is absolutely so excellent and it's so well done. This book is for fans who wanted a season 2 of Saturdays. This book is for fans who love community and love and skating and everything. This book is so good. I loved the writing. I loved the plot and the characters and the romance and the friendships and everything about it. This book is so underrated and it deserves so much more hype. I think it's absolutely so excellent and I'm so excited to see what this author will write next, because I think that her writing is unbelievably so good and it's so lyrical and it's so poetic. And this book is also set in free verse. If you didn't know, I think everything about this story is so good. I love a good solid coming of age black story, and this book serves it 8 down and I loved it. So anyway, with that said, I would definitely highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Run Like a Girl. This story is a YA contemporary following a black main character who's on the boys' track team at her new school because they don't have a girls' track team. I think this book is excellent and it's so well done and it's so good. First of all, I loved the plot and the romance and the characters and everything about it. I think this book is absolutely so excellent and it's so well done. I love stories that have sort of an underdog coming of age story because I've always related to being an underdog when it comes to being black or being disabled or whatever. This book is so good. I think it's so excellent and it's so well done. And I also appreciated that the sport itself wasn't that complicated to understand. You know what I mean? It's something that I'm already familiar with, so that was nice. I loved the plot and the team and the romance and everything. This book is so good and it's again so underrated, which is something that I will probably say multiple times throughout this video because Black books in general are so underappreciated in the publishing industry, in the book world, just amongst readers in general, in my opinion. So anyway, with that said, I would definitely highly, highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Through All Teeth. This story is a YA contemporary thriller following a young Black main character who's investigating the murder of her best friend. I think this book was so good, and it's so well done, and I loved the complexities of all of the characters, particularly with the representation of mental health. Like, I think this book is so good. At first glance, it kind of reminded me of, like, Bodies, 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 but as I finished the story, I realized the story is much more complex than that movie, and it's so much deeper, and I loved all of the characters individually, and all of those stories, and the plot and the mystery were also so well paced, and so well done. I think this book is absolutely so excellent, and it deserves so much more hype. It's definitely the author's best, in my opinion. Like, I think this book is so good, and it's so well done, and it's just, like, so underrated, and it deserves so much more hype. I think that this book is just so excellent, and I think I'm planning on making a separate, like, my favorite Black thrillers books next. I'm not exactly sure, but anyway, with that said, I really, really enjoy this book, and I would definitely highly, highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called The Story of My Anger. This story is a YA contemporary following a young Black main character who is navigating racism in her theater high school program amongst book banning efforts by her town's school board. I don't know if that made any sense. I felt like I articulated it in the most eloquent way possible, but I always underestimate my eloquence, typically online. But anyway, I thought this book was so good, and it's so awesome, and it's so well done. First of all, I rated this book 5 stars when I read it a few weeks ago because I felt like so many elements were so incredibly relatable, and also I love books that talk about book bannings and how book bannings historically target marginalized authors and their stories, and like marginalized authors deserve to feel seen and heard and understood by everyone. And as a future like marginalized author myself, like, I understand that if I write a book, it might get banned in multiple states. Like, growing up in a conservative, like, red state, this book felt so relatable, and I felt so seen by everything that was happening. I think this book is so good. I love the characters and the writing and her friend group and everything about it. Like, it felt so good and so honest. Like, I think this book is excellent, and it deserves so much more hype. I think it's so, so good. So anyway, with that said, I would definitely highly, highly recommend it. The last book on this list, and definitely not the least, is called I've Got My Love to Keep Me Warm. This story is a YA contemporary following 2 Black queer main characters who are fake dating during the holidays. I think this book is excellent. I think it's awesome. I love the 2 characters individually. I love their romance together. It is so adorable and so cute, and it's so well done. I'm planning on making my favorite holiday books video at the end of this month, or maybe early next month. I'm not quite sure. I have to really like research when major holidays are really happening around, you know what I mean? But anyway, I'm not exactly a seasonal reader, but I know that some of my viewers may be, so I want to plan that video specifically around that, so I have to research certain things. But anyway, this book was so good, and it was so excellent. Like I said before, I love the characters individually, I love their family dynamics, and I love their friendships, and the romance is so well paced, and it's so cute, and it's so adorable, and everything about it made so much sense, and it was so good. I think this book is absolutely so excellent, and it's so well done. This author is so unbelievably talented, and I think that all of her books so far have been absolutely so good. So anyway, with that said, I would definitely highly, highly recommend it. So in conclusion, I hope that as a Black booktuber, as a Black leader, I hope that like my book recommendations are helping people feel seen and heard and understood, but particularly the people in my own community, but also like people outside of the Black community as well. I hope that these book recommendations are helping diversify your bookshelf. I hope that they're insightful and give you knowledge about other people's perspectives, and even people like within the community as well. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, even though I am a part of the Black community, obviously there are other experiences that, for example, darker skinned Black people experience that I don't, and I'm very aware of my privilege regarding that, amongst other things. So with that, I think that there are nuances to being Black, and there are complexities and everything. So anyway, with that said, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up, comment down below the pretzel emoji if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Thanks for watching, subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!